Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to do games that we wish we could have revenge on, as in beat, because they've been so difficult that we want to kick its ass. Don't we, Lauren?
Yeah.
Do you want to start us off today? Like, I know you have
I have a list of
anger.
games, man. Sorry, right off the bat, this might be a little bit longer episode because, do we have to unload
Do you
on these
have
games?
anger bent up for your honorable mention?
Yes, 100%. This is, and I don't know if you've ever played this game. So my game is, for honorable mention, is from 2008, and it was a browser game on the internet called QWOP.
No, never heard of it.
Oh, okay. I just ruined the rest of your day, so just check it out later. So QWOP is a game. I can't remember the guy that I think Foddy is his name that developed it, and he developed it as like a physics experiment. So the Q, the W, the O, and the P keys are what you use. That's it. Okay, and you are a sprinter that's trying to do a 100-meter dash. That's it. The Q is your right thigh.
What?
I'm already angry talking about this game. The W is your left thigh. The O is your right calf.
Oh,
the
I
P is
already
your
don't
left
like.
calf.
I don't like.
And you
this
literally
at all.
have to like Q, O, W,
Why
P,
would you
Q,
play
O,
this?
W, and it's how long you hold it down. And
Is it like trying to help you type quicker?
so?
Is that a typing exercise?
No,
Well, why?
it's
why would
literally just frustration. That's all it is.
This sounds ridiculous.
I've never beaten it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a 100-meter fucking dash, and I've never beaten it. It is vicious how hard it is to get the rhythm. All I'm saying is just YouTube it for like 30 seconds and how
Okay.
ridiculously
up.
funny it is.
I'll put it up.
How just you look so terrible because your whole upper torso
Yeah.
reacts.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the thigh and calf balance, your torso goes backwards and you're fucked. You're out.
Silly.
It's the hardest.
Do you want to guess my honorable mention?
I'm not sure I can. There's way too many games.
Konami's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one for Nintendo.
I struggled with that game.
I still have never been into this game. I want to kick this game's ass. This game was still so much fun to play to this day. It's just like fun to pick up and go and do a side scroller, do your top down driving levels, even just like scrolling around as a turtle with a dun 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 dun. Like, you know, it's just such an addictive game. I want to beat this game. This is my honorable mention because I want to kick its ass.
This is the game, for a little bit of backfeed here. This is the game that actually inspired this list.
This game
This
is
is
the
what
one.
got us talking about games that we really owe a revenge beating
And I'm sure
on.
there's going to be a lot more coming up.
Yes. You're number 5.
My number 5. Okay. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is actually going to be obscure, but the one day on NES we were talking about the Legend of Zelda 2.
Oh, I
and
love
how
that
I love that
game.
style.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very similar game, maybe even harder. It's called Battle of Olympus, and
Never
so
heard
it's
of
an NES game. Came out December '89. So
I actually never heard of this game
pretty
before.
early. So it
89
has
is not
that
early.
Zelda.
It's like 3 years into the console. Or sorry, 4 years into the console's life.
Well, if we were blessed and you were in LA or New York, it's a 4-year-old
4 year,
game,
yeah.
right?
We weren't
for
blessed, you're
most
right.
Canadians. It was like 2.5 years
Okay.
into it. So, but still, anything that's in the 80s for me is still
Gold.
early,
Gold.
right? Like it's
Gold, early gold.
So just imagine it's like a Zelda 2 clone, but it's more like Greek mythology, right? But they're like everything about this game is difficult. So you could be walking in the forest, And like when you get to the end of the screen, it's just like Zelda 2. Like it mildly scrolls, and then it gets to the end of the screen, and then you go to a new area, right? But like, there's one area in a forest where you can walk almost to the end of the screen and then turn around and walk backwards. So you're just pressing right, and then you stop and press left, and then you enter a secret door that's in between two trees. So you have like areas that you can only enter by walking left, which is frustrating as shit. And then you have you have to like keep track of like where these secret doors.
You almost need to like write this stuff down or like draw it on pen. Draw
it's
it down.
the absolute old school draw it down.
Yeah,
right?
like that's what we used to do with games.
And then you know what else you used to draw down?
What?
Passwords.
Yeah, dude, absolute
And-
save points, passwords. You need to put that down, man.
These-
Or else you just leave your Nintendo on the entire time on pause.
So like my notes, I just put password system just fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
So you know how you had those really shitty games that have like
16 or
it could
32
be a
characters.
1 or it could be an exclamation or it could be an I.
Yeah, you have to
Or-
guess.
Or it could be a P or it could be like a squiggly fucking musical note because all of those options are in the list. Man, why do you guys do that shit?
Just put numbers.
Why do you have a 0 and an O? Why?
Just have numbers.
Is it, which one is it? Is it 0 or is it O? You know how many fucking passwords I had written down that were useless?
Yeah, 32 characters
So you-
and the zeros at
Yeah,
the
it's-
end.
And you literally like
Ah, shit.
over to the 0 or O.
Yeah.
Beep.
Oh,
B. Musical note.
no man, flashbacks.
So then you put like those 32 or 64 characters in, and then you get to the end and you hit it, and it goes
invalid
password. And you're like, that this game causes all of that shit. Bosses, they're hard. They all have projectiles, and for the most part, you have a sword that is like maybe 4 millimeters long.
Yeah.
Like you just it's a fun game, but it's a frustrating game, and that's why it's number 5 on my list. I told you we were going to be a little amped up and a little bit longer on this episode, and we're at number 5.
Do you want to hear my number 5?
Yes.
So I think this is gonna surprise you. My number 5 is for the Atari 2600,
Oh.
and it's a series of games, and I'm talking about the Sword Quest series.
So, okay. I was expecting the you know what answer, but
So
that seems like it's too easy.
I'm talking about Earth, Fire, and Water quests.
Okay.
And you know the story. Air Quest never been released, and they had at the time 3 prizes valued at $25,000, which is roughly like $70,000 nowadays.
Yes.
That's insane. And I'm talking about like jewels, crystals, like gold, like ornaments, swords, whatever. It's just insane. There were competitions for these games back then. This is before I was born. When I played these, it was awesome. You had like puzzles you had to figure out. You had a booklet with a cartoon in it that you had to find clues just so you knew what to do in each level. And it was so you
Yep.
felt yourself like immersed into this game because you had to like read to find clues just to figure out what the heck to do. And thank you, Batman.
Hi, Batman. Okay.
So you had to like figure out what to do, and because it was one of the earlier games that I played, it made me use like my imagination a lot, and that you needed that for this game because there's so many like
You needed that for
sporadic colors flashing fucking everywhere.
You needed that for Atari, man. 'cause
Yeah,
it
you
was
need
like,
that for Atari 2600.
Which square are you on the screen? I'm the blue square, Dad.
Oh shit, where is?
Okay, good luck. It's just
Developed by LucasArts,
Oh.
published by Nintendo on December 3rd of 1996.
This is so
You-
deserves to be in this
You
list.
are Dash Randar, and you are in Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire.
This deserves to be on this list.
This-
I have a love for this game.
This was released in the story in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, the two of the greatest Star Wars movies. This was the 3rd best game of 1997. Like, it sold over 1 million copies in 1 year. This is the 3rd best game of 90. A lot of good games came out in 97.
Third best selling game?
Yep, in 97. And a lot of good
GoldenEye
games
came out in
A
'97.
lot of games came out in 97 that are good because it had the Star Wars backing it up. You're Dash Randar, you're a bounty hunter.
I fanboyed hard on this, man.
It is so, dude. Anyone who's played this game remembers when you're the snow speeder and you're trying to take down the AT-AT with
Yeah.
a freaking tow cable. You can't tell me that the first time you rented that, you're like, I just want
Or
to
the-
topple a AT-AT over.
The jumping from the train car to train car.
Oh
and
my god, dude, died so many times there. This game gets significantly hard the longer you play it. Eventually you take on Boba Fett in his ship and it is so difficult.
So was it then? Or was it like, it was kind of like a junkyard kind of...
There's a junkyard level. Yeah.
That boss?
Yeah.
Fuck that boss.
Fuck that, because
I
you go in on a
struggled.
you go in on a train
Yes.
going to that. And it's such a pain in the ass.
I still remember to this day, like the difficulty curve at that boss just goes high, and I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't suck this much, do I? Like my
but
brother-in-law
even-
was looking at it, he's like, wow.
Even in the first level on Hoth, like if you don't know what you're doing, you're dead at that ATST in the garage.
Yes.
Like, you're done. That
This is a tough game, man. It's August '94. It's Contra Hardcore.
Oh, I love this game.
So Contras are tough
The
anyway.
music for this one had more of like a R&B techno, like fast-paced music
Yes.
style instead
Which
of like the
originally
hard
made
rock
me
shit.
hate it because it wasn't like a Nintendo Contra, right? And it wasn't Alien Wars, right? And it had that like
You could pick
totally
your
different,
characters.
yeah.
You
so
can pick your characters. Sorry, I don't mean to cut in. Go
no,
ahead.
no. But like, great point. You can pick 4 characters, and you can slide. And when you're sliding, you're invincible. You can have 4 weapon slots instead of 2. And this game is like 5 years after Alien Wars. It has everything great going for it. The one thing that a lot of people weren't ready for, it's Genesis hard. It's way harder than a typical Contra, which is saying a lot because most people needed the Contra code to even beat a Contra. So, yeah, that's my number 4 by far. It also had branching storylines and it had like multiple endings. It was honestly, in hindsight, what a kick-ass game, but so hard. I never beat this game. It was way too hard. My number 3 is a beast. So it came out on the GameCube,
GameCube.
August 2003. You can probably guess it already.
It's gonna be a Metroid game.
No.
What?
Actually, I blew through those. It's F-Zero GX.
Oh, I love F-Zero
The
GX.
hardest GameCube game. Like, okay, so regular game's hard enough, but I'm specifically talking about the like very hard story mode. Holy shit! Like, if you've beat it, first off, not even close. But if you've beaten it, it's what is it, like 9 chapters, I think. If you've beaten it, you are a god. So it's lightning fast,
4 players.
snare drum tight.
Yeah.
And it's ungodly hard. Like
And once you get good with the controls, it's just like putting on a familiar pair of shoes.
get good with the controls. Good for you. Very hard story mode is they ramped it right to the max. It is like it's like you're going down this straight tunnel and you have to like swerve to miss
Yeah.
the gates and like only go through the like boosts. So you have 2 sides. You can go like the one side doesn't have a boost and the one side does, and you don't know which is coming because the reaction time is like now. And by the time you learn that track, if you miss 2 boosts, you're not making it, period. And then you've got like the one, what is it, you're racing, you start in 36th place and you have to get to first place by the end of the track. And the only way you're doing it is getting boosts off everybody as you kill them. Like, if you just pass them, forget it, you're not making it to the first place guy. It's wicked hard. There's like, I'll never be that good.
You can always be that good.
Oh no, that guy is.
You can be that good.
F-Zero GX, absolutely on my list.
Love F-Zero
Frustratingly-
GX.
Like, very hard story mode, like literally unbeatable for me.
This is gonna sound odd. My revenge game, number 2, is F-Zero X for N64.
Okay. Hey, they're all hard.
So I've beaten every single level on this game. Every single one. I've beaten the game so that it so if you beat F-Zero X, the screen will change when you beat it.
Right.
So like when you first started, it shows a very cool cartoon of every single character. After you beat the game, it's like a different screen altogether. It says F-Zero X and it shows the character looking at the screen. There's like I'll post it up here, but
Yeah.
when you beat this game, you feel a sense like you would, like those other games where like you achieved something. You spent hundreds of hours in this game to get it beaten, hundreds, and like on every difficulty. So you do all of easy, do all of medium, do all of hard, and then you do all of expert. And it takes so much time to do all this.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep telling yourself, I am never going to do this again. But then you want to keep beating on every difficulty just so you can beat this stupid fucking game. And you know what kept me going for this game? Do you know what actually kept me going through this game where it's like, oh, this isn't that bad?
The music?
The fucking music in the game.
Yes.
Dude. It just energizes you every time to the point where you're like, this is all right. I can do this again.
Yeah.
Because it's so goddamn addictive.
You know what? It's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
It's not so
like,
bad
this
because
is
I got
really,
this plan. Yeah.
It's like, cause if you're gonna lose, then at least you got a good tune out of it. But then if you win, dun, 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 dun,
Like, is it not every single F-Zero though? Like the Super Nintendo one, outstanding music. X, outstanding
because
music. GX, holy shit, good music. Like,
well, GX is more of like a dance techno.
but it
version
had
of
like
it.
Fire,
Yeah,
like
it- oh,
Firefield,
yeah.
and like
Firefield is awesome.
it
That's one of
had
my
some
favorite
wicked
ones.
bangers.
Metro City was really good. Big Blue is
Big
always
Blue.
a classic,
Big
you
Blue.
know. But yeah, that's my number 2. How about your number 2?
My number 2 is my favorite game on this list, and if we ever did a top 5 like favorite games of all time, this is probably
Oh
making
my
it.
god, what is it?
It is Radiant Silvergun for the Sega Saturn.
I never heard of it.
It's made
I
by
can't even base an opinion on this.
It's made by
Treasure.
Treasure. It came out July 98, Japan only, but it is now available on Nintendo Switch, and I highly recommend you pick it up because
Man,
this
Nintendo Switch needs to start paying us here.
this was one of the like early like it was not the first like bullet hell style shooter, but it's the one that like put it on the map, right? Like that Donpachi and Batsugan was another one. This one made it cool. So
I'll have to put some video up so that people can see what we're talking
this
about here.
game. Like so, it's a 2D sprite-based vertical shooter with 3D backgrounds, but it's incredibly seamless for 1998. How the background vibes with the action going on 2D. Like it's very fitting to each other. It's not off. The OST or the soundtrack, sorry, was by Hitoshi Sakamoto, which is the game he did right before this game was Final Fantasy Tactics. So if you want like a shooting game with the best soundtrack ever, this is it, and it's fantastic. There's like anime intros, like the whole like opening part is like I don't know 6 or 7 minutes long. But yeah, like he did Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant
I know
Story,
that game.
Gradius 5, which is a lot of people say the best side-scrolling shooter ever. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, Final Fantasy 12.
Holy moly, man! This guy's done everything.
He's legendary, and
Yeah.
they scored him.
He's like, what's this nuts from
They
Rare
scored him-
Donkey Kong soundtrack?
oh yeah,
I can't remember his name right now.
Not Snap. No, the Snapper brothers were but David Wise.
David Wise,
Yeah,
thank
look
you.
at David
Yes,
Wise.
here we go, plugging David Wise again.
David Wise. He's legendary, man.
Yeah.
I love his work. So, what made this shooter wickedly different from every other shooter is like, Darius Twin or something like that. You pick up power-ups and it changes your gun, or you change to like a photon style or this. This game is just like, here, you get 6 weapons right off the bat. You can use them whenever you want. They're one for each button on the controller. And there's 3 styles. So like there's like a homing style, there's like a heavy like forward style. Ouch. And then there's like the like spread.
You okay?
That Kinnebic Pilsner just aim. Unofficial sponsor today, Snake Lake Brewing.
Snake Lake Brewing,
Snake Lake
Kinnebic
Brewing in
Pilsner.
Sylvan Lake.
Best Pilsner you can get.
I'd say best Pilsner in Alberta by far.
Yeah. Or in the world.
Or
The universe.
calm down there. There's a place
Vince,
in,
hey, relax, Vince.
there's literally
Russo.
a place in Pilsner that invented the shit.
Okay, there, Vince.
So yeah, you have like power, like your power weapons, your spread weapons, and your homing weapons, and each one has its use. But the more you use one, and the more enemies you kill with them, the more they level up and more powerful they get. So then they become extremely important. But if you favor one weapon, you're gonna have a bad time. You have to spread the love between all of them. So like it gives the game so much balance by having to use each style of weapon and like trying to keep them all equally leveled. Then you can also you power up quicker if you do like color combos. So like there's red, blue, and yellow enemies in the game, and if you defeat them in like groups of 3, that gives you a quicker power up, so you can actually level your stuff up faster. If you just ignore that and just kill everything as you see it, you actually won't combo as fast, and so you're less powerful, and then it's going to take you longer to defeat enemies. There are bullets everywhere in this game. This game gets stupid hard when you get further up, like into the last few stages. Like the very end boss, I have never, and so that's why I'm saying like you can beat this game cheese, or you can beat it by like comboing and building your stuff up properly.
Depending if you're a lazy player or not.
Yeah, like every boss actually has like 5 parts to it. You can just kill it, or you can knock off the parts and like defeat it properly 100%. You get like a percentage and like your grade at the end of every level. This is the shooter game that took it from just survive to get better, right? And at the end of the game, all you have to do is survive the final boss.
That sounds like a really cool Predator movie or something.
The bullets are
just make it to the end,
insane,
survive,
man. Like you, and you're
we're talking about like Contra level hard, like you have to dodge and weave in between.
Way harder.
Because that's surprising, because Contra's already hard enough.
Just like YouTube the final boss in Radiant Silvergun, and you'll see.
Okay,
like,
I'll bring it up.
The screen is covered in bullets.
Holy
and
moly.
and your hitbox is only
A
the
centimeter by centimeter.
It's just the cockpit of your. No, it's smaller.
Holy moly!
It's just the cockpit of your like plane.
Yeah.
But you don't. It takes so much to get used to that, and you think like a bullet's coming and it's gonna go right through your wing. You're like, oh, I gotta move, but you don't, and then that causes you to move into another bullet, right? So it's so hard. This game, it kicks my ass, and I'm okay with it. Like this game is my daddy, and I'm just let me just keep losing it. I don't require revenge on this game. It just needed to be in the list.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So, my number 1, released January of 1995. They added the C4 Boost chip to this game, just so that they would polish it up and make it look even prettier.
95. So that would be, is it 2 or 3?
Yuki Iwai, the composer of this game, made classic tracks for the entire X series. I'm talking about Capcom's Mega Man X2.
2.
If I want to get revenge on anything, it's to beat Mega Man X2. I beat Mega Man X1 with my roommate Quentin at the time. He's in France. Hey, cheers, Quentin. Miss you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. And you know what? Like at first, like he just started playing this game with me. He's gained the controls. He is now surpassing me at this game. He is just younger, quicker, faster, better, right?
Yeah.
So like I end up like kind of like coaching him through, but like I beat a couple bosses and then he takes over and I'm just like, oh, use this weapon for this guy. And then eventually like we get to the part where we have to beat the dog before we beat oh wait, am I thinking this? Yeah. We beat the dog before we beat so we beat the boss, beat the dog, then the third part.
Sigma?
Yeah. And such a good game, Mega Man X1, right? We beat it. So I didn't beat it. He beat the last boss, but like up until then we were like trading off on each Maverick stage.
Yeah, like the first Mega Man X1, that's when like his hands go up and then you have to like
dodge
like,
it,
dodge the lightning coming out of his hands, like.
But then Mega Man X2 just amps it up even more.
In every way that game's
And guess
harder.
what? The music, holy freaking crap! It's some of the. It can't be reproduced nowadays. It's some of the best music ever made by Capcom. Like it's like the only best music that is like this memorable to anyone would be like the Street Fighter series.
Yeah.
right? By Capcom. It's like some of the greatest soundtracks
I
ever.
mean, Mega Man always killed it, but the X series took it to the next level.
You can have heart tanks, sub tanks. You can have power ups for your weapons. You can get your super Hadouken. Like it's insane. The extra play. You're gonna go back on some other levels to try to beat this game to 100%.
Shoryuken.
Yeah,
Shoryuken.
and like the boss is so difficult at the end. It's like Sigma times 2, basically. He comes back and you need to kill.
But
his ass.
all the bosses, like the
they're all memorable.
the ostrich, the
Overdrive Ostrich,
the crocodile or whatever.
Yeah,
The crocodile can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
That's a hard ass fight.
I hated the chameleon.
Watching the even like how the
Stingray
speedrunners
chameleon.
do it, like they use that chain, and they lock them in
Yeah.
like stun lock them.
Yep.
And I've never been able to do it properly. Like the timing is very, very tight.
It's such a good game in every aspect. The controls are amazing. You can charge up your weapon. You can have your super weapons. Like, there's nothing bad about this game. There's nothing bad about this game.
They took the controls to the next level from the first one for sure.
And that's why it's my number one revenge game, because I've never beaten it and I would love to beat this game. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
My number one is I'm never gonna beat this game, and I'm okay with it. I'm never gonna be a good enough gamer to beat this game.
Holy moly. What is it?
So it was a launch game
What? A launch game.
for the Nintendo GameCube. It is Super Goddamn Fucking Monkey Ball, and it's
This is not what I expected at all.
dude, expert mode.
It's
good
Super
luck.
Monkey Ball.
Good, like everybody's like, oh, it's such a simple game. Like,
It is.
Go to expert mode and beat it.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it isn't. You're cruising along, and then you get to like level 7, right? Level 7 is the one where you have to go up the like one by one. So there's like specific measurements in Monkey Ball, right? Like there is a 1 is the width of your monkey. So like there's levels that are like where the path is like only like 0.4, so it's literally less than half the monkey. So you have to be super precise when you're moving around, right? Level 7 takes it to the next level. Like you have to go up a 1 width ramp, then turn and go over a 1 width like pyramid, right? Then you go down a hop stair thing, and then you have to go over like a checkerboard where half the checks are like just holes where you go to your death. And then you have to go around like this massive S that is like 0.7 wide. That's level 7 out of 50.
But it's Super Monkey Ball.
If you beat all 50 levels and then go to master mode are like that's the 10 hardest. Or if you beat,
I guess I just find it so silly because it looks like such a kid game. It doesn't seem like that should be a revenge game, you know?
give her a try.
I guess, yeah. Like,
Give her
don't
a
knock
try.
it until you try
Like
it.
even so there's beginner, intermediate, expert, and even intermediate, or I think they call it advanced. It's 30 levels. That's even hard to get through without continuing. The 50 expert levels, I don't have the ability to do it.
Yeah.
And then if you beat those 50 levels, then you get expert extra, and that's 10 extra levels that are even harder. And then if you beat those, you get master mode, which is 10 more levels, and those 10 levels are like
Impossible.
well, I have a buddy who did get to master mode.
So you need one buddy who's, like, on the spectrum.
Like he got to level 3 in master mode, and
Yeah.
he still has not beat it.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
that hard. Like this is the hardest game I've ever played.
It's such a weird game to be the number one for you.
But the worst thing about this is there's no, like a Mega Man X2. You will eventually get good enough to beat that game.
Depending.
Okay.
If you have the patience.
But you will eventually overcome cheapness, or shitty luck, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was no luck in Monkey Ball. There's no.
It's pure skill and
It's
determination.
pure skill. It's all on you and for that reason, this game can go fuck off.
Well,
Because I have no one to blame but myself.
well, that was our top 5 revenge games that we wish we could beat nowadays. Do you agree with everything we said? Maybe there's some stuff you really thought was simple and we thought wasn't, Lauren?
Yeah, I know that our list is a little bit awkward, but these are just our personals. We'd love to hear what your revenge games are. Just leave them in comments, and maybe we'll agree with them, maybe we won't. But hey, we can all agree that games deserve revenge.
Yes, and games are fun.
Games are fun. They're supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, why are you playing them?
See you next time, everyone.